Get your scissors in there. Let's take the scariness away. Chop it off. Take it shorter. I want to go short as you. Maybe not short as you. Maybe a little bit. Maybe not clippered. Maybe scissor cut. And we're going to be scissor cutting today. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. So on today's video, what we're doing is we're taking this mannequin here to a pixie cut. So you find a lot of clients, if they've had really long hair, they go to here, they go to here, they go to here, and they're sitting around this bob for a little while and they don't know whether to just grow it out or go for something completely different. And I'm going to go for something completely different today, and we're going to take it to a pixie cut. So the reason for pixie cuts are bang on trend for 2024. 2024 is seeming to be anything goes when it comes to trends. People are still wanting wolf cuts, shags, butterfly cuts, pixie cuts, bobs. Everything is on trend and wearable. So if people are trying to tell you, no, this is bang on trend, this is what's happening right now, I'll tell you now, everything's happening. People are having whatever they feel like at the minute, and I'm all for that. Embracing what you have with your hair, like density, texture, manageability, and time, and just rocking it. So this is why I want to bring you a pixie cut from this bob, because this is basically a lot of 9 times out of 10, I'd say, people come in with this sort of length and they're like, chop it off, take it shorter. I want to go short as you. Maybe not short as you, maybe a little bit, maybe not clippered, maybe scissor cut. And we're going to be scissor cutting today. So we're going to section off and we're going to get straight into the haircut. And I'm going to be bringing you a bang on trend bob for pixie cut. I'm going to bring you a bang on trend pixie cut for 2024. So let's get into it. Right guys, section pattern done. If you don't want to watch the section pattern, go to this time. You're better to just check me out cutting hair straight away. For those that you do, section pattern is done. And what we've done is we've taken from recession and recession and created a horseshoe section just around the head. On the sides, same on both sides, I've just taken a section just behind the back of the ear, pushed that forward. We've gone centre back, straight down there, and we've just separated into two. As you know, and if you are new to the channel, you don't know, but I like to make haircutting as simple as possible without loads and loads of sections to achieve a very good result. And reason for keeping it very, very commercial, but also the students who come straight from college, they've basically learned the very, very fundamentals of a horseshoe section, hot cross bun, and that is about it. Maybe sectioning from the occipital bone to the middle of the ear. That is what they know. So I'm here, this is my channel, I'm here to help those guys elevate and get ready for the salon floor. So, and for the hairdressers that gets a little bit sort of, oh my God, there's like 50 sections. We don't need all 50 sections. We just need this amount of sections to create a beautiful pixie cut. Reason we've got this on top sectioned out, because that's the piece which can be either disconnected, it could be maybe asymmetric, or we could blend it in to connect. The picture I'm going to go for is this right here. That's the inspiration we're going for. So let's get into the haircut. So what I want to do first is I want to take a center section down middle back, either side of that central parting. So there, and then there. This is going to give me a nice guide when it comes to working through this back section, but also it's going to give me a great guide when I come to working with the sides. So what I want to do is I want to determine the length that I want to go for through here, because we want to work that sort of shape. We want it to be longer on the top and short into the nape here, so it is quite short into the nape basically. So it's a pixied off haircut, and the length I'm going to go for up here is around about 2 inches. 1 inch, 2 inch, and then my fingers are there, and then I'm just going to cut on a diagonal line with my fingers, working from longer to shorter into the nape. So again, pulling straight out from the head, creating that angle with my fingers like that. So that's just going to be longer there and shorter into the nape there. And how we're going to make sure we get balance all the way through here, we're going to take this top section and I'm just going to work on the planes of the head, which is the flat point of the head, which is this top parting. And I've just took a slither section, which is half of a normal section, and I'm just cutting that. So this will be in 3, because I don't want to go past the curves, because what that will then mean is we've got corners. I'm working on flat planes of the head. So this is going to be my guide to help me stay balanced all the way around that section. And then again, this piece here, Now what you want to do is you just want to grab that section, grab the other side, and just make sure that they're the same length. We've got a guide now running all the way around that top, and we've got a guide running straight down middle back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work from that top, pulling straight out from the head, and then just working my fingers on an angle. Not a really sort of intense angle, but an angle that's going to take me from longer to shorter, because then once it's all dried, I can refine it. I can scissor over comb, or I could go in a little bit more. I could get some clippers on it if I want to. But I think a lot of the daunting thing is when people go from longer to shorter is because they haven't really got a guide. I've got a guide there, and I've also got a guide through that top now. So there's no fear at all. And we're moving around the head, and I'm just going to be moving the mannequin around so you can see what I'm getting up to. So I'm using my previous cut section as my guide. And again, I want my body position to be behind the section. If you find in this video that it's slightly off, it's just because I'm trying to show you. But this is going to be a really cool short pixie cut that literally any age can wear. If you wanted to rebel as a youngster, wear this. If you wanted to feel younger, wear this. It is so wearable. Directly behind the section, pulling straight out with my fingers are creating the angle, so we are getting shorter into that nape. Now for my last section here, so that head should be there now because this section is coming straight out. I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other side. So there we go. That is that back section all cut. Really nice and quick, and I hope that is very simple for you to understand. Right, we're getting onto the sides now. So we're just going to drop these sides in, and what we're going to do again, so it's easy, is we're going to just take a bit of that top, and then that slither that we took as our guide to run around the top of the back of the head, we're just going to pull straight out from the head, and we're just going to take that across to the front. That again gives us a beautiful guide and length to work from. Again, we've got two beautiful guides. We've got the guide from this here, and we've got the guide that we've just put in. And we want to create our finger angle, and we want to be working that all the way through to the front using our previous section as our guide. And like before, once I've done this, it is exactly the same on the other side. Last section, straight out, finger angle, cutting to our guides. And it gives you that really nice pixied off shape. What we've worked in now is you can see this length here, so we can either disconnect the top or we can connect it. Now what I want to do is I want to connect the back, but I want to leave the front a little bit disconnected, a little bit sort of floaty, and then when we come to refining, that's where we're going to put in our really sort of bespoking of the haircut. So what we want to do is take this out, and I think this is something as well that really worries hairdressers when they've worked underneath and they've got all this and they're thinking, oh my God, I've got all of this to connect. And it can be a bit daunting when you first start to do these big restyles. And one thing that I suggest is when you sort of know your length, or we are going to connect that back, we're going to connect this anyway. So this is going to be this length. Slot, it's going to be visually connected. There's going to be some disconnection in there, but it's going to be mainly disconnected at the front. So we've got some flowing. Now, to take that scary bit away from you, just over direct it right back and all into the middle, which means this will all be longer still. The sides will be longer, the front will be longer, but the back's going to be shorter. So get rid of the comb. Let's bring it back like that. And then all you want to do is, I'll get out of the way so you can see. Get your scissors in there. Let's take the scariness away. Now, it's not very scary because it's nearly connected. Look, we've got all this disconnection here that we want to maintain, but not that length. it is going to be longer on either side of the front because of how we took it all into a bunch like a ponytail haircut. This is why I show you ponytail haircuts, because now look, we've got length in there and it's shorter in the middle because of how we just took it back and cut it off. Now it took the scariness away from the haircut. Now what we want to do is I want to find the middle, and I'm basically going to do that again, but section by section, so we can take it shorter in the middle and maintain the length towards the perimeter. And I think that is something, if you are a trainer who trains young hairdressers in cutting, restyling, on creative courses or any cutting courses, to be honest, what they really struggle with is when you show them how to take all this short underneath and it's like, oh yeah, and then they come to unclip this and they think, oh my god, I've got to connect that and I don't know how. I know we're going to show them, but just take off that daunting factor. Take off all of that, like I just threw on the floor, and you're left with something that actually looks and resembles a haircut. No beef, just, you know, just an observation. Again, I'm going to work through one side and I'm going to show you, and then the other side is going to be exactly the same. And we're going to end up with an absolutely banging, on-trend pixie cut. So here is our middle section. What I've done is I've taken it either side of that middle section, basically. The middle section that was through the middle, I've gone either side of the middle and taken a new section. So here is that new section. Here is our guide from underneath. Now look at how unscary that is. That little piece there is our guide. We're now doing a trim because we've took it away. And again, we're just going to work back like this. And we're just putting in that length. I mean, look at it. Not scary at all. Right, so I'm just going to let her head down a little bit because I'm going to work on one side and show you, and then I will speed ramp it the other side so you can see what I do. But all I'm going to do, it'd be better if I work this side. What way should I work? I want to work, basically I want to work from my guide. So I'll work this side so you can see. So that middle section now is now my guide. And then all of this hair is going to be pushed up into that middle. So we're going to start just to connect. And then on that side, I'll turn the mannequin the other way so you can see how I'm cutting it. And remember, we're just going to pull back because we want to maintain that length at the front. Thought I had a spider on me. Pulling back. Now, however much you pull back, totally depends, on how much length you want to maintain. Again, next section, we're going to push up over that middle. All you're doing now is connecting this length on top to the middle. We're not worrying about connecting it underneath, because if it was connected underneath, you'd end up being shorter. We don't want that. We want disconnection. Bring it right back over that middle. Now look at how unscary this is. So can you see that hair there is coming right up over that middle parting? And I've just got to trim off dust. And guess what? I just cut myself. There we go. That's that side done. And you'll see the angle that I'm pulling at. That's it. So there's the underneath section just there. Hardly anything to connect because of what we've already took off. We're pulling back. You can see trimming. If we'd have left that as was, it'd have been very, very daunting for new stylists and older stylists as well. I think a lot of hairdressers get a little bit sort of fear factor where it's like, oh my god, I'm cutting all this hair off. How's it going to look at the end? Whereas when you do what I just did, you know how it's going to look because it's pretty much there. Just want to give a shout out to Kent Brushes as well. Thank you for all the new brushes. I really appreciate it. We've got paddles, we've got round radials. We've got, that's just normal. We've got boar bristle round brushes. We've got these Denman-esque, everything. Clips. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. And also to the guys at GHD for sending me all this new electrical stuff. Hair dryers, tongs, the wet to straight, sort of like straightening thing. I'll show you, like unreal. What else? The new straighteners. Wow. Kronos. Is it Kronos? Kronos. Very, very good. But yeah, you'll see it all. So I'm gonna get this blow dried, and then you can also pick up these tools in the description below if you want to use exactly the same as what I use. So that's just me refined it, just taking off some of the length a little bit more. I took it to the jawline and then just started to elevate up into the middle again, still to create that the length on the edges, but just taking that a little bit shorter and adding a little bit more texture and definition in there. Now what I want to do is I want to get some product in there, and I actually really like the side part. But I'm going to show you a few variations, just so if you were thinking about having a pixie, this haircut can be worn in many, many different ways. First of all, I will just show you it as a little bit sort of butterfly bangs as such, where you can have a middle part, and let's just get our fingers and thumbs in there and just start to see. Here's the length here, just there. And what I really like about it is like the rawness and the how it's just very, what's the word, like bitty. I love pixie cuts that have got a lot of definition there, and so you can see the texture that's built into them. And like I was saying, if you're older generation, this is something you can be wearing. If you are younger, there's no age. There's no age. This is something that you can be literally wearing any age. Very, very soft, but super cool. And I think the color really works. This is a colored mannequin from the Masterpiece collection that we did for Joico. And I just think it looks super cool. So that is it from a central part. Now, let's just get a little bit more texture in there so you can just see like a bit more of like a blunt fringe. That's it, like that. There it is with a side fringe. So still disconnected. We've still got this, but it is a visual connection, but it is disconnected completely. So you can just really funk it up and just get loads of products in there. So yeah, I hope that helps. 3 ways to wear the same pixie haircut to give you a different haircut every day of the week if you work 3 days. But yeah, also a haircut that can either for any age. But I just love it. If you do too, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, 1 second, please hit the thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe button. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video.